Hello, my friend. Welcome back. AI for research and evidence synthesis. If you have ever had to write a report, brief note, slide deck, a risk profile, or comprehensive policy brief, you know the struggle I'm talking about. Opening 15 different PDF reports, searching through hundreds of pages, and trying to keep your citations organized. No more. To achieve this at speed, we are using a specific tool called Google NotebookLM. Today, we are shifting from manual to AI-assisted workflow using NotebookLM. Unlike standard chatbots such as ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and DeepSeek that guesses answers from the entire internet, NotebookLM is grounded. It only uses the documents you give access to it. This makes it perfect tool for our 3-part role framework, both for humanitarian and development professionals. I guess maybe you're asking, what is evidence synthesis? Evidence synthesis is the process of combining information and finding from multiple sources to answer specific research question or validate an argument. This makes it perfect AI-assisted workflow for our 3 main objectives. 1. Rapid information gathering. 2. Evidence synthesis. 3. Producing high-quality draft output. Synthesis is about combining sources to create new meaning. We use NotebookLM to group this process. A. In your own trusted documents. P. To search on your behalf and get back with the possible results from the entire internet. Now, let's explore the possibilities. You can use NotebookLM for a wide range of tasks, including drafting reports, writing briefs, many more, including slide presentations. So your next step is to log into your Gmail account, upload your sources, ask questions, collect information, and produce desired output using NotebookLM. So now, for you to start with Google NotebookLM, write in your Google account or Google search notebook.google, and you will land in this homepage. So when you land in this interface, you will see NotebookLM says understand anything with NotebookLM, which makes sense because this is your research and thinking partner, grounded in your information you trust, built with the latest Gemini models. So when you click try NotebookLM, it will take you to Notebook interface, your AI-powered research partner. So let's just scroll down and see what it can do. You can upload your sources. We will see that from PDF to websites, YouTube videos, audio files, Google Docs, slides, and more. NotebookLM will summarize them and make interesting connections between different topics you have uploaded. Instant insights. With all of your sources in one place, NotebookLM gets to work and become a personalized AI expert in your information that matters most to you. See the sources, not just the answer. So it has inline citations. It provides hyperlink you can click so that you directly go to the document. You can generate audio and video and listening on the go. So just to calm down a bit, you'll see a number of people who are talking about. I think you'll recognize this guy who is very famous, worked with ChatGPT. So you can go through and read here. But where I want to also bring your attention to is what makes NotebookLM different from other AI-powered notebook taking apps. It's a research assessment. NotebookLM advantage is being source grounded. It helps you deliver more accurate answers and insights based on your actual materials. So it avoids or reduces hallucinations and errors. Unlike other models like ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini, they directly interface with the internet and they are sourcing the information from the internet. So what are the main advantages of NotebookLM compared to other AI apps? 1. Direct control to your sources. Reduced hallucinations. Personalized learning. It creates highly personalized learning and research environment tailored to your specific needs. Maybe you have a meeting and you want to put your slides together and write a script. You use NotebookLM. You're working on a specific material, you use NotebookLM. You want to produce reports, you use NotebookLM. Trust and reliability. The transparency of knowing exactly where the AI's information comes from builds a greater trust. So, without a further ado, let's go to NotebookLM interface. Now you landed NotebookLM. So there are a couple of things here. I'm using the pro version here, but I can also switch on to the one that is the free version. The first thing you need to start up is setting your settings. Initially, this is where I start. If you are using different output language, you can select it from here. For me, the default is English, but it has like quite a lot of languages you can use for that. And also, I usually like the darker mode, but if you like the light mode, you can switch to the light mode, coming back to switch to the dark mode. And also, if you like to see all your notebooks you have already created, you can see it in a listicle format. This goes to, and it shows you the featured notes, recent notebooks. I have a few things that I've already created here. But for us to start a fresh note, usually I call your brain knowledge, then you click create a new. So when you say create a new, you land in this interface as well, where you can upload files. You can also link to websites or the links of YouTube. You can also directly go to your drive. Maybe you have a copied text and you want to paste it here. And also there is an interesting here. So you can write something here, you can directly go to the web or your drive if you already have a few documents already in your drive. Usually you leave it to the web so that you can also go for fast research, or I go in-depth research most of the time. So going to the deep research gives you like a lot more diverse sources so that you can synthesize and come up with findings related to the specific questions you want to respond. So without a further ado, let's write something here. And now we are going directly to the internet to get something out from here. So I want to create a drought report in the Horn of Africa. So I'll give the context, the objectives, and also a bit more detail on that. So I'll copy paste here and then say deep research. So when I click deep research and it goes through the internet, now it will come back with all the resources that are referencing drought in the Horn of Africa. This stage, please be patient. NotebookLM will go through the entire internet and it will get back to the corresponding resources based on your prompt or query. So it might take a minute or 2 or 3 minutes, and it will show you all the sources that are related to your specific question, and it will save it on the left. Great. Now, as you can see, the results are out. We have a comprehensive analysis of the 2025 Horn of Africa drought. So it come back with 33 sources. Whoa. And mind you that a notebook can hold 50 sources. So it can also go beyond 33. But these are the most relevant. So let's say that we can view if we want to see before we import. So you can see all here, and then you say import. So it takes few seconds or maybe less than that to download all the sources from the internet to your notebook, to your knowledge brain. At the same time, you can also create title notebook here, or you leave it in the notebook to create a fitting name for your notebook. For me, I would like to give a specific name for this project, so I'll call it 2025 Drought in the Horn of Africa. Perfect. So now it gives you also a summary of all the sources. So it says that the provided documents describe catastrophic humanitarian crisis unfolding across the greater Horn of Africa throughout 2025 and into 2026. This region is struggling with severe drought in Somalia, Ethiopia, and Kenya, while simultaneously facing massive flooding and systemic instability in South Sudan, extreme flood, insecurity, and life-threatening malnutrition are sharply exacerbated by ongoing conflict. You can go through and read it. So it also gives you few questions for you to also dig deeper. How do climate volatility and persistent conflict drive humanitarian needs across the region? What strategic resets are aid organizations implementing to manage massive funding shortfalls? A very interesting question. How does the convergence of drought, diseases, and displacements impact vulnerable population? Very good questions. You can also start asking specific questions. Let me say a very simple one. Based on the sources, how many countries are in the Horn of Africa? So just to test that, it come back with the specific country names I've asked. If it goes beyond that, then when you are also refining your report, you need to exclude the sources that are not. So the 7 countries, Greater Horn of Africa, one specific framework defines the Greater Horn of Africa, which consists of 7 countries, Djibouti, Ethiopia, Kenya, Somalia. 4 countries and parts of others, primarily Horn, include Djibouti, Eritrea, Ethiopia, and Somalia, and with parts of Kenya. In summary, while the core Horn often cited 4 countries, Djibouti, Eritrea, Ethiopia, and Somalia, the broader regional classifications used for humanitarian planning includes 7 or 8 nations, including Kenya, Sudan, South Sudan. However, I think I was like very specific, asking it to only show the countries that are in the Horn of Africa, specifically Somalia, Ethiopia, and Kenya. So now it went off to go to a greater source. So now when you're working on the report, you need to mention the specific country names you want to be included in the Horn of Africa. So that's a very specific nuance. So the middle pane, which is the chart where you can ask and chat with your sources. On the right side is the studio. This way you generate all the outputs based on the sources you have. And as we started on the left, it's where you have all your sources saved. So this basically, everything you ask in the chat or produce in the output comes from this side. That's why you need to focus on the 3 parts simultaneously. On the ground sources, the chat in the middle, and also in the studio here. So just to describe what I wanted, I can also bring back the same context I've already given. So now this is the prompt I'm trying to paste it here. And it's the same one I dropped it while I was doing the deep research. But now we are going to give it more nuances on the contexts based on the sources it already extracted from the internet. If you can see, now we are filtering twice. One, we are extracting it from the internet, and the second time we are extracting the sources that are grounded already in our brain knowledge. So throughout 2025, the Horn of Africa, especially Somalia, Ethiopia, and Kenya, experienced a catastrophic humanitarian emergence driven by historic seconds of failed rainy seasons. So these are all the specific things I want to get this report. And mind you, in this chart, you cannot paste a very long prompt. It has to be a very specific prompt that are tailored to give you a specific output.